What's good, everybody? It's Silver back with another video, and for today we have my first review for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. For this review, 5 of my friends will be carrying the video as they will be giving their own personal opinion, criticism, and review about the movie. If you haven't watched this movie, then I advise you click away for spoilers. If you have watched the film or you just don't care, please continue with my video. And please, I hope you enjoy. So, for today, you are going to be doing a review for the movie Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You'll be answering 5 questions, and you will give your opinion relating to the question. And first, I'm going to show you the trailer for the movie, just to give your memory a refreshing vibe.
Every night.
The trailer always makes it seem so much more entertaining than what it really is. He's talking about something, he dreamed the same dream every night. Bullshit, he had that dream one time.
And I hate that. I know. Oh, you're mocking me.
That was you.
I know, I really don't.
The thing about this trailer, they didn't make it,
We should tell him.
they didn't let us know Wanda was like gonna be chasing him the whole time. Like, see in the trailer,
It doesn't seem fair.
it still don't make it seem like she's the bad guy.
I do it, I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
How you feel about that trailer?
It's alright. Like, it's good. It's a good trailer.
Nah, it doesn't really let us know what the fuck the movie's about.
Wow.
God,
Okay,
yeah.
that brought back a lot to my memory.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I expected it to be creepy as much as I did from watching the trailer. I was like, alright, this is gonna be a little spooky. But when I watched it, I was like, oh,
Do you think the dark horror take on the film was a good idea?
Great idea.
No, I don't think it was a good idea. Like, I feel like it ruined the movie, sort of.
I feel like it was a great idea because most Marvel films is always just about superheroes saving the day. You know what I'm saying? This one was more so like they put a twist on it.
It just like didn't feel like a Marvel movie at all. It felt like straight like horror, like Conjuring, like watching that. Like, it did not feel like no like Marvel movie, no like Thor, Iron Man. It did not feel like that. Or like the first Doctor Strange.
I feel like they took this path because they were trying to reach a new audience in a way that Marvel hadn't done before. And I feel like they're trying to keep up with, you know, the trend that society is moving in. And I feel like I get the idea of what they were trying to do. I just feel like they took it too far.
That was probably me.
I guess, yeah, because I mean, it says the Multiverse of Madness, so the madness was definitely there.
I think it was something different. I liked it, especially I don't really watch horror films like that, so it wasn't too scary.
His name ain't Doctor Strange like for nothing, so it was gonna be some strange stuff in this movie, but I feel like it proved his point.
Like, if you really watch the full movie from start to finish, it doesn't feel, I don't feel that normal Marvel feeling. And maybe that's what they were going for, but it didn't feel like Marvel. It felt like something on a whole different spectrum.
Like, what part do you think was the scariest? Do you remember like the
Yeah, when they was in the tunnels.
Maybe when she was like, yeah, when they were in that tunnel or whatever, and like she just popped out of nowhere.
Like, that was probably like the scariest part of going through that whole thing. They was going underneath the tunnels and kept going through all them doors and stuff, and she kept popping out. When she popped out of the pipes, that part was scary. That whole like in half of the movie was scary.
Like, I was on the edge of my seat, like, oh my god, like people are actually dying, like crazy deaths.
What is your opinion about the storyline?
I just feel like it was a lot going on at once.
I think the storyline was very good, well thought out, very detailed. It is something that you wouldn't even expect the average person to think of. It was so outside of the box from what Marvel normally shows us.
Was it hard to understand?
Not at all. I completely understood, and I remember in WandaVision how it was like eating at her smallly, and then that brought up how eventually she broke. I don't know. I really like that storyline.
They just hold so much power in this one girl, America. So without her, then it would have been like no story.
I think I was able to follow it. So it was basically like that girl America was like the one that was like had all the answers or whatever. It was cool enough for me to follow, but I'm pretty sure I was still in the movie theaters like, okay, well, why that happened?
I feel like the storyline was pretty good. I feel like I have to like watch it more to like really like remember like everything. But I feel like it wasn't really too bad. I feel like the storyline was good about like Wanda, like her bad, like seeing her, like that side of her and everything. Like I feel like it was good.
You break the rules and become a hero. I do it and I become the enemy. That doesn't seem fair.
The storyline was incredible from start to finish. I mean, you could really feel the pain that Doctor Strange was going through in each different scenario. We were able to really follow his path and see, what it was like for him. Even seeing himself, like the clone version of him, everything was just, it was so outside of the box.
What is your opinion on all the actors' performances?
So in the beginning, like I wasn't feeling like America. Like I was not feeling her. Like I was like, I don't really know. Like I didn't really like how she was acting at first.
Rule number 1 of multiversal travel, you don't know anything.
Right. America, they could have picked a better actor. The Sorcerer Supreme, what's his name?
What are you talking about, Wong?
His ass don't ever do nothing.
What do you think about America Chavez though? Because a lot of people are actually hating on her.
She was good. She was alright. I don't really have nothing to hate on her with.
I thought she did a great job. I've never seen her in movies before. Has she been in any of the other Marvel movies?
No, that was her first MCU.
Okay, I think she did a wonderful job. I think she's a great actor. I could feel her emotions and I could feel the fear that she felt in different scenes.
I've never seen her in anything else, so I'm like, for the first time me seeing her, I feel like she did all right. I feel like her emotions and her reactions to certain things were valid. I don't think she was like overacting or underacting.
I mean, normally that happens, like people just like, they're like new characters and they come out of nowhere, but I just really like, it just felt weird to me about like, I just was weird about her and I didn't like her, but then I ended up liking her like in the end. I was like, she pretty cool, she not bad, she all right.
I like the actors and actresses' performances in the movie. I feel like even the smallest roles, they felt big in the movie. Like John Krasinski, he was in the movie for like 5 minutes. He still played it like he was the main character.
The smartest man alive, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
Hello, Stephen. Fantastic Four.
Do you think Wanda's ego from being a hero to like her being darker in the film was a drastic change? Do you think that was good or bad?
Wanda really played her part well.
Every night, the same dream. And every morning, the same nightmare.
I didn't know that she was gonna represent that role or play that character. I didn't look at her in that way.
Not to me though, because I watched her little TV show, the WandaVision show, and she was acting a little dark and crazy in that too. So, and I feel like it was a gradual like transition. It wasn't like boom, like she the witch. I feel like she was like gradually like turning into that. So I don't think it was just like a harsh like switch. So I think it was alright.
Nobody was thinking that she was gonna play a role that was that hypocritical of what she normally portrayed. Like she was a mad woman, you know? Like nobody expected that from her, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Dreamwalking, you hypocrite!
How do you feel about Professor X?
Everybody in the fucking theater was like, oh!
The whole theater was hyped. Everybody was like, yeah, like rooting him on.
Enough!
I was shocked. I was actually really shocked to see him in the movie. Like, I did not know he was gonna be in there at all. I wasn't thinking. When I saw him, I was like, what, Professor X?
It had like, didn't it have a man from the Fantastic Four in it?
He did, yeah. He was actually a fan cast, if you didn't know. People wanted him to play Reed Richards, and they got what they wanted.
It was pretty cool how they listened to the bands.
Yeah.
First thing I thought was like Quiet Place. I was like, that's the guy from Quiet Place.
Okay, yeah, he do kind of look like Mr. Fantastic too.
He do. He's like, his acting is great. He's like one of the best actors out here.
Should the director Sam Raimi return for Doctor Strange 3?
If they're trying to keep going with the horror.
Who's the director?
I feel like he should, but like just leave out like all the horror stuff.
Sam Raimi. If you're not familiar with Sam Raimi, he directed the 3 Spider-Man films.
Pizza time.
Done both the Spider-Man films and horror films. So if you want to keep going with the route that they're going now, you might as well get somebody that's good in both perspectives and that could do it all.
It depends on what they're going for. I feel like this director, he put a really different spin on this particular Marvel movie. I do think that it kind of threw off the vibe, like the theme of the Marvel movies.
There was so many good scenes in here, and it was really not boring. Like, I feel he really did like do a good job on this film, but the horror stuff, I just feel like he should definitely leave that out.
If he made it spooky like that again, then no, but because I just didn't like the spookiness.
The 3 Spider-Man films were good. I feel like a lot of people attract to them because of the nostalgia. But I don't think Marvel films hit like they do now.
I feel like it threw it off a little bit. I feel like if you want to keep that nostalgic feel, then you're gonna need a director who really understands the heart of the people and doesn't switch up the storyline too much, because then you lose some of your audience when you try to make things different than what everybody has known for decades, you know?
Go back to hell.
He was the one that directed the 3 Spider-Man films from back in the day. With Tobey Maguire, yeah, he was the one that directed all 3. So they called him back for this horror film, because he also does horror movies.
Horror.
Yeah.
Like horror.
Rating the movie from 1 to 10, what would you give the film?
A 9.
A 9?
Only because the end was just a little like, okay.
Like a 5. It's just because I don't like spooky stuff.
It's 6.5. Yeah.
In regards to the storyline itself, I would probably give it a 6.
Solid 7. I give it a solid 7.
Damn, okay. They kind of strayed away from the story. Like, no, this is about Wanda. They could have had better ending with that, you know. It just showed her kill each other, just like.
It wasn't bad. Like my 5 ain't like, oh, I would never watch it again. I would watch it again. All right, so let me give it like 7. Let me give it like 7.
The main reason I like the movie was because it was like horror. They were actually killing. It strayed away from the typical Marvel movie type thing, you know.
Because Doctor Strange, he still did what he had to do. It was business. He still did business. I liked it.
It's like okay. It just like didn't feel like right. Like when I was just sitting in the theater just watching it, like it just didn't feel right to me. The CGI was like a little bit bad, a little bit in the beginning, a lot. And then like the same thing with like the horror stuff, like because it just didn't feel like a Marvel movie at all. It just didn't feel like one at all. So I'm like,
it didn't match the theme of the normal Marvel movie. I heard people, even as we came out of the movie theater, like people who were sitting behind me and stuff, like, whoa, I didn't expect it to be that dark.
So you just don't like the horror and the take on it, like?
No, I don't feel like the first one was like that at all. After watching the trailer again, it don't seem as bad because now I like remember it. But going in and I was walking out, I was like, I ain't go watch a funny movie before I go to sleep.
and it kind of just didn't like really go with like the first Doctor Strange either. Like it just didn't feel like it Doctor Strange at all. Because I'm like, normally the Marvel movies like Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, they all like feel like the same. Like it's just like the same
Doctor Strange 2
like
was
that.
Wanda's movie.
Yeah, it was like mainly her, and like, it was just weird. Like, I mean, it's because she was the villain, kind of. Like, it's okay, but like the villain, her being the villain in the whole movie, like, I don't know how I felt about that. Like, it was okay.
I do feel like they kind of should stick to what people know them for, since they have such a huge audience. You don't want to, you know, have people feeling confused about what Marvel is really about. They did a good job grabbing our attention, you know. I have mixed feelings about the horror side of it, as you can tell.
I'm taking a full 10 away, like what's...
Probably just the horror aspect. I'm not really much of a horror fan, so I'm just like, ugh. And they painted Wanda as like a horrible person. That's just not making it a 10.
So 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I give it to him.
Alright.
I liked it better than the Spider-Man.
Really?
Everybody liked the Spider-Man one because it's like, oh,
wait, you talking about No Way Home?
Yeah.
So a 7, a 7.
It's a 7.
So yeah, that is the end of my review. Thanks, Kaiyah. I appreciate that. Hey. Good job. That's it.
Thank you. Those were awesome questions.
Alright, man. Thank you. That is the end of this review. Thank you, man. That's the end. Thank you, man. Well, thank you, Favour. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness released on May 2022. From its release to the public till this day, it is known as Marvel's most controversial films. The movie itself has received a lot of backlash and criticism for its quality overall, whether it is the visuals, the performance, or the story. Overall, the movie leaves a bittersweet taste in a lot of people's mouths. Usually, Marvel movies are typical hero save the day, villain loses, city save, you get the point. The more and more I actually watched this movie, the more I liked it. If you would have asked me for my rating of it after the theater, I would have said a 7. Right now, I will give it an 8. I will give it an 8 because, like I said, it has a different pacing to it. It is very, very different than any other Marvel movie I feel like on this planet. Horror isn't everyone's forte. It really isn't my forte, but honestly, if you're a Marvel fan, watching it really wasn't scary. Like, yeah, you might have popped at a couple jump scares here and there, but I feel like it was watchable for even a kid, if you ask me, maybe. But it was PG-13, so it wasn't, you know, really too bad for me. I really did like the amount of screen time Elizabeth Olsen had. One of my favorite things about the movie was actually her. I do feel like she owned the spotlight, honestly. Her acting, honestly, just really never disappoints. From WandaVision, we've seen her act as Wanda Maximoff in different timelines and different periods and sitcoms. It was just so many different like personalities she played very well. And I feel like in this movie she played a sane woman and an insane woman very well in a mixed way, if that makes sense. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you leave all that good stuff. I hope you guys like this review. I will make sure I'll leave more reviews, so you know I'm really trying to do more things for my channel. Like I said, if you like this video, leave all that good stuff. And I'll catch back with y'all another time.